All right, everybody, welcome back to 5-9 Gaming, and where it's finally time. It's finally here after leaks upon leaks upon leaks and speculation. The No Way Home official teaser trailer is here, and all three of us have seen it. We're just gonna sit here and break it down and give our thoughts and discuss it. And joining me today, we have Goresh.
What's going on, guys? Super excited about the trailer. Ready to talk about some speculation.
And we have Sly.
Hi.
Nice one. First off, you two, what is your overall thoughts on the actual trailer itself? How do you feel about it? Like, after, what do you take away from it? How do you feel about it?
I mean, the whole internet is exploding. People are dancing on the street right outside my house. Like, there's flashing lights everywhere. I mean, this is like the trailer of the year, right? Like, there's nothing that reached this level, at least that I can remember in the past year, of this. Just a trailer. It's not even like the movie came out. It's literally just a trailer.
Yeah.
I think last time was Endgame.
Yeah, honestly, it's Marvel definitely knows how to do the trailers correctly. But I mean, I am a massive Spider-Man 2 fan, so to see Molina as Doc Ock at the end there, that's definitely the part that got me at the end. Like, so the leaks came out yesterday. We all saw it, right? Pretty much ended up being the same trailer, but I mean, to see it in HD like that ending was pretty insane to me.
Yeah.
What about you,
I would
Sly?
have to agree. It's been a very long time since I've seen Spider-Man 2, but like Goresh said, I also have to like be happy that he's back as Doc Ock. I think what actually like got me hyped the most was that they introduced the multiverse. So that, to me, that is floodgates that you're opening up for the possibilities, discussion, and whatnot. But I want to see how they're gonna handle that.
Yeah, me too. Same sentiments. I mean, basically, like Gareth said, this is the trailer. Like, I forget everything else. You can be hyped for other things. This trailer is by far the most anticipated thing to come out for any film, especially with what was going on in the world. But the weirdest thing about this trailer was that it's a teaser trailer, and most often teaser trailers come out like 8 to 9 months beforehand. We're only about 3 or 4 months out from this film, so it felt very late. That's why people were just fevering. They were at the edge waiting for this trailer, and to me, it delivered. I love this trailer. I saw the leak yesterday, but I didn't really like pay attention or even listen to the leak. So I was just like, judging the fact that there was a leak, I figured we were gonna get an official HD trailer soon, especially with CinemaCon. So I just waited. I didn't like delve too deep into it. Just kind of confirmed that it was real. And here we are today, and it's here, and Alfred Molina, and it's him, and it's this part right here. It's basically this ending sequence right here. This pumpkin bomb
Yeah.
is, oh my god, just hearing the cackling. I know it's Willem Dafoe, obviously.
Yeah, it's so distinctive. Like, I heard that for the first time. I was like, oh yeah, that's him.
Fat dubs all around. Let's go.
Yeah, like even the pumpkin buns are basically the same design as the Raimi version. Like, it doesn't look
Yeah,
too
it
different
is.
from the.
I'm pretty sure that is literally exactly what it was.
Same.
Exactly. So it's like, all right, enough of that. What do you guys think about like all the other villains and stuff that we saw in this trailer, or hints of different villains? I'll start off with, I believe we have hints of Electro and Sandman, and it's around right here. You kind of get your first inkling slash scene of like just lightning bolts and just sand and dirt everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little. You can, again, Sandman's not confirmed, but this is definitely Electro, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're in the middle of a city and there's sand everywhere. I assume it's him.
Same.
So, I mean, unless they're like, I don't know, that's probably Sandman. Right? I mean, people all over Twitter are talking about this. I mean, I liked Tom Church as Sandman. I mean, I'm a big fan of the movie Sideways. He was really good in that movie, so it's funny that I always think of that. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly like this is one of those movies where it's like the more villains, the better, because it's sort of just shaping up to be like an Avengers style movie. And you think back to like the original Spider-Man 3 from the Sam Raimi trilogy, and one of the big complaints was that there were just too many villains in the movie. But it's like This time I don't know. This time I'm fine with adding however many villains you want to add, because a lot of it's just nostalgia, right? They're bringing back not even the same villains, the same actors that played them in the prior movies. So this is like the ultimate crossover, I guess, is what it comes down to.
Oh, 100%. Go ahead, Sly.
I was going to say, like, if we're adding in villains and we're talking about the same Raimi trilogy, could you imagine if they just showed Venom in this? Like, imagine, like, just one little speck of a teaser.
Yeah, I mean,
that would have erupted.
They're definitely just
Noir
saving
Venom?
that for to bring the existing Venom in at some point, right?
Yeah,
it would be very
Hardy.
yeah, it would be very awkward if they went back and did the Venom from the third Raimi movie. Like, that would be weird.
Oh, can't think of his name. He plays Eric in that 70s show. I can't remember his name.
Topher
It's
Grace.
escaping my head.
Topher
Thank you.
Grace, yeah. That would be kind of hilarious. Just like they did a whole backtrack. It's like, yeah, we have Tom Hardy Venom, but like, here's just like everyone's like, oh, I can't wait for them to cross over, and then MCU and Sony are like, yeah, we can't either. And then it's boom, it's Topher Grace Venom out of nowhere.
No disrespect to Topher Grace, but please just keep it Tom Hardy, please.
I agree. I think Topher Grace is a good actor. I just think obviously he was the problem. I think we all can agree with Spider-Man 3 is not necessarily that there was too many villains, but the fact that they crammed too much. Because Venom, I think he could have done a good Venom, but the problem was he didn't get enough. He literally shows up in the last like 15 minutes of the movie, and like there's like no development with him. He just it's very obviously, and you can even tell they focused way more on Sandman, and Sam Raimi's on record saying he doesn't like Venom as a villain. So you can say, or you can see that it's obvious that he obviously focused on Sandman in that movie. He got the most character depth, the most tie-in with Uncle Ben's death and everything. So I think it's more so just a studio mix-up, and that resulted in Topher Grace having a bad outing, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the one thing I do want to talk about though quickly is the entire multiverse concept, because we are pretty much coming off of Loki, and that's really where they introduced the concept altogether with the without going into too many spoilers, it's pretty much the whole different timelines, and the last episode sort of brings the multiverse concept to light, and we see some tampering with the timelines and the multiverse, and everything gets screwed up. So with Doctor Strange in this trailer, he's casting a spell, which we'll get to later, but I would have thought that the trigger to all this stuff happening with the multiverse getting mixed up would be a direct result of the Loki finale, not Doctor Strange in this movie. Like, I would have honestly just preferred, I mean, we don't know the actual story, so I'm gonna not go too hard on it, but I would have preferred if they just like started the movie and then, like, you know, they're at like 10-15 minutes deep, and then it sort of ties in the ending of Loki with this movie.
I agree. I think it would have been an easier explanation that would have made more sense, because I guess we could talk about that now since you basically brought it up. Do you think Doctor Strange was out of character doing this? I've seen a lot of discourse on Twitter about it, because it seems very, very irresponsible for a guy that can control space and time, essentially, or attempt to, essentially, to just say, yeah, I got you, teenager boy. I got you to replace everyone's memories, like, and like deal with like the entire multiverse in space and time. So do you think that was out of character for him?
I do, and the reason why I do think so is because looking back at the Avengers movies, like both Infinity War and Endgame, Doctor Strange was always portrayed as the wise person of the group. He always knew what to do. You know, there was like the 11 million or 7 million outcomes that he foresaw.
14 million.
Yes, 14 million outcomes that he foresaw, and it's like, okay, well, this entails me giving away the Time Stone to Thanos or something like that. So he pretty much knows what he's doing, and to see him just do something reckless like this, even after Wong tells him like, don't do it, seems a little bit out of character, and it seems like honestly, it's like a characterization of his growth up until this point, like, because this is sort of the Doctor Strange that we saw from his own movie, where he just like was learning everything about the arts and stuff like that, where he sort of was like a little bit of a of a deviant from the norm, because he's, you know, he was like he lived in normal society and he came to this, you know, the Comertage, and he learned all the magic. But it doesn't seem like this is the same Doctor Strange that we saw from Endgame. He seems like a little bit out of character to me.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
have
think,
to agree.
Sly?
We're gonna need context from the movie, like whether it's before this of
Yeah.
him saying, "Yeah, don't do it," or like maybe later in the movie, like we find out that there was a motive behind it. I It really would seem very out of character, and like I said, like dropping his character a little bit. That Peter's like, "Hey, so you know how to do this stuff, right? Yeah, can you wipe everyone's memory and do this? Yeah, sure, why not?" Like, there's got to be something behind Doctor Strange's motives. Like, there's got to be.
100%. And then, of course, Wong, as per usual, says a piece of dialogue and just pieces out again. He's going on vacation or something. Like, I don't know. Every time, I guess this is where he's gonna go fight Abomination in Shang-Chi. Like, I don't know. He says something, and Doctor Strange's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Bye, Wong. All right, before we hop back to the beginning of the trailer and talk about the essentially Spider-Man on the run, this is one of the kind of basically blink it and you miss it. And thank you to everything CBM right here. His ad is right here, so we'll give him a follow, check him out. Basically, he lit up the trailer, and I don't know, it looks awful, but it's basically pixely. But he lit it up enough and increased the brightness where you can see this blink it and you miss it. Basically, it's the lizard. I mean, everyone's assuming it's a lizard. I mean, I think so, but it's too big. You can hear a growl in this scene as well. And it
Yeah.
seems like he's behind some type of barrier. I'll play it. I'll let it just keep scrolling.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget, Twitter obliterates quality for
Quality,
images.
yeah. So, what do you guys think? I mean, obviously, it was kind of inferring the Sinister Six with Goblin and Doc Ock and Electro and Sam. There's so many people in this movie, but now we even got the Lizard. It seems like. So, what do you guys think?
I'm waiting for the Rhino, Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
And then Bonesaw, we got to get him in there.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
they're gonna do it like they did with like they did in Star Wars. Rogue
Yeah,
One,
yeah.
where they got like.
Yep. Yeah, the same CGI. I don't know
That'd be
how
great.
are they. The only issue I have. I mean, again, I don't have a big problem with them bringing in all these villains because it's cool. But like, how are they gonna be like 2 minutes each of screen time? Like, how is this working? I'm just worried
Yeah.
that they're gonna be in the movie for like
Yeah.
5 minutes. They're gonna get beaten and then they're gonna like exit the movie or something. Because you can't have like 20 hype characters in the movie. It's very hard to give them enough screen time and real estate on the screen for it to be impactful. But we'll see how they do it. Maybe they find out a good system for it.
Yeah, I have to agree because like if you look at Justice League, like the Snyder cut, like it's 4 hours, but you watch it and it's like, okay, now I know why it's 4 hours because they have all this stuff, all these characters, and they gotta flesh them out and stuff. So all these villains and characters, like Ur said, like 5 minutes, that's a little concerning, if anything. So maybe it extends, but I don't see this going further than Endgame, honestly.
Yeah, and then there's also the point that haven't really seen anybody else talking about before, but isn't it possible we also get multiple versions of the same character in here? Because in Loki, you could go to different versions or different times of each timeline, and just like pick different times of a character multiple times out, so you can have like infinite versions of the same character, pretty much. So what if we just saw like 6 Green Goblins or something, and they were all teaming up with each other or something like that?
At that point, that's like might as well just call this like Avengers Spider-Man. Like you're gonna get Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Toby, Andrew. You're gonna get Miles Morales. You're gonna get the animated Miles Morales and like all the animated versions. You're gonna have
the
Nick
pig one.
Cage.
Just a CGI Miles. Let's go.
You're gonna get them all. You're gonna get Nick Cage's Spider-Man Noir as well. Like it's gonna be all in there at that rate. Okay, I have to agree with you guys because I think there's too many villains, and I think what they're gonna bank on is that the Goblin is gonna be the main one. Willem Dafoe's Goblin is gonna be the main one, or even Doc Ock, And then I think they're gonna really just bank on nostalgia slash memory of the Spider-Man audience and fan base to be like, oh, that's the Lizard from Amazing Spider-Man 1. Oh, that's Jamie Foxx's Electro. Maybe he gets more development. Seems like the lightning bolts are yellow instead of the blue, like he was all
Yeah.
blue in Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're gonna really just maybe concentrate on 2 or 3 of them, and then some of them like Lizard, like Connors and stuff. They might just be like, hey, you guys remember them, so like why not, right? Like just we're just gonna kind of dust them by, and then they're gonna have a big battle at the end with everyone, right? I think that's kind of their probably approach to it. I think that's the best approach because, like you said, I think trying to have 6 villains and have flesh them all out, it's kind of tough. And like I'm assuming this movie's gonna be like Far From Home, which was around like 2 hours and like 20 minutes, 2 hours. So unless they get some extra runtime, make this like 230, 240, I don't think we're gonna have like that much fleshing out every single villain. I just think some of these villains are gonna show up at the end to just be like, whoa, it's the Lizard too. It's a Sinister Six. They're all grouped up together, right?
Yeah, and it's like something else to consider too is what Avengers could we see in this movie? Because we know Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are in this. Any other heroes you think will be in this movie? And I'm just thinking about this as well because like, do any of the Spider-Man villains even hold a candle to Doctor Strange? I would say no. So I hope he's not like gonna just take command of the movie himself.
Like, I just know some things like off the top of my head from comics. No, they don't. They don't. Like they can.
Yeah, I mean, like Spider-Man fights the Sinister Six on the regular by himself, right? So it's like, if Spider-Man can probably take all 6 of them by himself most of the time, then I'm pretty sure like Strange can just probably one-shot them all or something.
Because we were also talking about it last night of like how much he holds back. He holds back a lot.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, he holds back. Like he kind of like actually exerted himself a little bit, he'd be fine fighting all 6.
Exactly. So I think Strange is gonna get like out of commission by like Willem Dafoe's Goblin or something, or even I'm sure like Doc Ock and Goblin, there's probably combined, they're probably smart enough to just be like, okay, this is how we can tinker around and like get Strange out of commission or something, right? Because that has to be the case. Because like you said, if not, then like Strange gets to be like, hey everyone, like Wand like puts his hands out and everyone just gets teleported out, right? like and it's done. So I guess before we wrap up the video, let's address the beginning half, which was something in my opinion, I hope they don't gloss by and go, okay, here's 10 minutes of Peter on the run, because this is very interesting to me, right? Like the fact that his identity is out there, and there's like news reports. I don't know why he's allowed to even go to school. This is weird, but like you would think his aunt would be like, yeah, maybe no school for now, you know? But
yeah.
I think oh, by the way, J.K. Simmons obviously back as you know, J. Jonah Jameson, so that's obviously a
of
W.
course, need that.
Yeah. I hope they don't scoop by this entire section in like the first 10-20 minutes, and then we just like, oh, now we're in the multiverse stuff, and now we just like mess with everyone's memories and stuff, you know what I mean? Because like this is rough for like a teenager, right, to go through this kind of shit.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's rough, but if you think about like the stuff he's been through, I feel like that kind of stuff he can just like brush off his shoulder. I would want to say, like, considering like Infinity War and Endgame, like being called the devil in disguise, I'm like, trust me, there's worse stuff out there than that.
I saw this comment on Twitter earlier, but imagine a discussion or like a confrontation between the OG Jameson and the one that we saw at the end of the second movie, where he's like a little bit older, like because technically they're different characters, right? So that could happen.
Dude, if you have J. Jonah Jameson from the Raimi movies, and it would, I feel like he would eat alive this Jameson. I mean, we haven't seen much of this one, to be fair, but like the old,
I want Spider-Man.
Dude, the old Jameson, anyone would walk in, like the one guy, which was like I think Raimi's brother or something, would walk in and be like, "Hey, Jameson," he's like, "Shut up, you're fired," but also get me this, and also like get out of my office. He's like, I also want it on my desk like 10 minutes from now. He's like, am I fired? Am I hired?
You're fired. You're unfired. That's what he said in the second one, right?
yeah. So like I don't like we have to see more of this Jameson, but this Jameson wouldn't hold a candle to that one. He would just like this. So that'd be really cool. But yeah, I mean, again, like this part's very interesting. This is all basically just build up to the big thing about the multiverse and the memories. Again, it's affecting his family. Again, I think, in my opinion, I just hope we get more, again, personal relationship with like Aunt May and stuff now with like this whole thing going on. We did see Happy at the end, like being surrounded by like, I'm assuming that's probably like FBI agents or something here. Like, there's a bunch of people with
Yeah.
guns after him, so I don't know. Even though he works for Shield, I guess could because he's like a direct a representative of Spider-Man. I guess they were like, well, we have to talk to you because now the drones that killed Mysterio belong to him, and this, because they even mentioned that in the trailer, right? Like, oh, I didn't kill Mysterio, it was the drones, and they were like, yeah, but the drones belong to you. And I really like that because that puts in that responsibility aspect of it, which I feel like was missing in these movies, where like now Tom Holland's like Spider-Man has to deal with like a mess up that he made because the cop is correct. Those are his drones that Tony gave him. So I just wonder how the plot's gonna unfold. Like I said, hopefully they don't just brush by this entire intro like in like 20 minutes and then because that's when they're relying on the nostalgia part, right? But at the end of the day, what do you guys think in the comments section? Let us know. Comment down below. What was your favorite part of the trailer? Are you hyped to see Toby, Andrew? Listen, it's the worst kept secret in the world. We know they're in the movie. They're just saving it for another trailer. Like, it's the worst kept. There's toys out there. There's literal toys out there where they have Toby's like Spider-Man design, like costume and everything, and Andrew. So if you look, not even hard enough. If you type in Spider-Man No Way Home Toby, you'll find like a billion images. So it's the worst kept secret in Hollywood. But let us know down below which part are you most excited for. Are you excited for the Toby stuff, Andrew stuff, seeing Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, all these other villains and stuff, the multiverse finally being in action for real in the MCU film. Let us know down below. And that was Geek signing off along with Goresh and Sly, and I'll see you guys in the next one.